Hello there. Welcome to my show, COVID-19 Update by Heerak. This is June 20th, 2020, and I'm coming to you from Arlington, Virginia. Although the song that's playing is Gone with the Wind. I don't know if you had a chance to see the movie Gone with the Wind, but it's an amazing movie. One of my favorite movies. And those of you who haven't seen the movie should see it. Um, yeah, it kind of describes a Southern culture with the Southern bells, and it takes place during the Civil War and the Reconstruction, and you kind of come to understand all the interesting things that happened in history. But Southern belles in America are kind of considered like the royalty or nobility of America, and they had some amazing traditions. So when you see the movie Gone with the Wind, you'll come to understand some of the beautiful traditions that the South had, like Southern belles. Yeah, so definitely go and see the movie Gone with the Wind. It's a great movie. As you know, I'm a big supporter of First Amendment rights, and I support your right to fly your flag, whether it's American flag or Confederate flag. And I support your right to express your views and associate with people you want. Um, yeah, so one of my biggest platform is First Amendment rights, which I believe is far more important than Second Amendment rights. Because you cannot have the Second Amendment rights without First Amendment rights. So, yeah, so I would encourage you to um, practice your First Amendment rights. The music is really nice. I heard it's better when the marching band's performing. Today is National Ice Cream Soda Day, and that was really big in the South, um, perhaps more so than the North. But ice cream soda is basically you have soda and you put ice cream on inside, like a scoop of ice cream inside. So that's like ice cream soda. And it's a basic way to make it. So you could have your Coca-Cola, and then you put your vanilla ice cream. Then you have vanilla ice cream, Coca-Cola soda. you know, so that's one of the traditional ways to make it because Americans like cola, and Americans like ice cream. So yeah. Um, so when we look at the numbers today, we have 628 people who have died in the last 24 hours. So we've been around 700 for last couple 2 or 3 days. I don't think it's permanent. I think it's going to go up to over 1,000 just because we have all these cases of COVID all over America. Like in Florida, we have over 4,000 people getting COVID-19. In Arizona, we're now having over 3,000 people get COVID-19. And Texas is 4,000 people getting COVID-19. And I know um, it's a little disturbing because the rates are constantly going up. It's just on an upward slope. Um, North Carolina's numbers are going up. They're over 1,000, sometimes over 2,000. South Carolina is going up, and it's over 1,000. So it's been constantly going up. Nevada is going up. Alabama is going up. California is going up. So we have a lot of states where COVID-19 cases are steadily going up. So probably will have over 1,000 deaths next week. Um, or maybe a week after next, we may even have like over 1,500 deaths. I mean, as these cases uh, advance, you're going to have more and more people dying. And so the death numbers will go up. Because the death figure is around 6% in America. So about 6% of the people who have confirmed COVID cases are dying. So since we have these confirmed COVID cases over 4,000 in Texas, in Florida and Arizona, that's just like 10,000 right there, right? So yeah, I mean, that's just in one day. So that's in just those three states, you have like 600 deaths that's going to come from those numbers. And then North Carolina had over 2,000 today. And South Carolina had over 1,000. So you can see easily it's going to be over 1,000, maybe even over 1,500 or 2,000. So the numbers seem to be increasing. Yeah, so it is a little bit worrying. And so we'll see what happens in the summer. We'll keep following this. And a lot of the states that started opening up are now seeing increase in numbers. So there is high possibility that Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Maryland will start seeing increase in numbers as well. So some are saying that it's going to be an emergency. And yeah, and then we will have a COVID-19 crisis, kind of a second peak in Washington, D.C., Virginia, Northern Virginia, and Southern Maryland. So that's a possibility that you can see in the next few weeks. As you know, there have been a lot of marches in D.C. with George Floyd protests. So we may start seeing a spike in COVID-19 cases in the couple of weeks to come. Let's see what will happen. But yeah, I mean, Georgetown University is being smart, and they are keeping the standard in place where students have remote learning. So during summer 2020 semester, there is 100% online remote learning at Georgetown University. So that's kind of policy of Georgetown University to require everybody learn remotely. So that's a requirement during summer semester at Georgetown University. So all the summer classes at Georgetown are having this kind of a remote learning process right now. In the fall semester 2020 that starts late August, early September, Georgetown University also is putting into place a remote learning. And so that anyone who wants to have remote learning can learn remotely. Georgetown is considering having on-campus classes, but that's not definite. And as COVID-19 cases rise in Florida, Texas, Arizona, California, most likely Georgetown University campus will be closed in the fall semester 2020, I would imagine, because it's not just Florida, Texas, Arizona, and Alabama. It's North Carolina, South Carolina, Nevada, California. There are a lot of states that are having a sharp spike of COVID-19. So the problem for Georgetown University, as well as any university like Johns Hopkins University, Harvard University, Yale University, University of Pennsylvania, is that if you open up the campus to students in August, then you're going to have COVID-19 strains from Florida come to Georgetown, Washington, D.C. Strains are a little bit different. Chinese scientists said there are over 30 strains of COVID-19, and there may be more now since time has passed. That was in March. So if you open up Georgetown University, Harvard University, University of Pennsylvania, you're going to have all these people with COVID-19. from Florida, Texas, Arizona, California coming. And then they're going to be bringing their own strains that may not be really prevalent in Washington, D.C. area or Philadelphia area or Massachusetts area. And then those strains can cause a sharp increase in COVID-19 cases in these states. So even without the trigger from Florida, Texas, California, Arizona, states that are having like over 3,000 cases per day, most likely you're going to see a spike in New York, Pennsylvania, DC, and Boston from the George Floyd protests. That's probably coming in next week or next 2-3 weeks. So we're going to see a spike because no one really knows what the incubation period of COVID-19 is, how long it takes for COVID-19 to transmit, and how long does it take to manifest itself in people, and how long it takes it to become serious enough that people go to the hospital. No one really knows. It could be 1 week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be a month. People have an idea, and people have put like 14 days, 2 weeks as an estimate, but no one is 100% sure about that because still people don't know what COVID-19 is. And so most likely Georgetown University will not be able to have any students come to Georgetown University in fall semester because number of states that are having significant increase in COVID-19 in the summertime, and today is the first day of summer, is increasing. It's not decreasing. Meaning North Carolina had the greatest number of COVID-19 today, and today is the first day of summer. South Carolina had the greatest number of COVID-19 today, and today is the first day of summer. Florida had over 4,000 cases, and it's first day of summer. Texas has all thousands of cases. Arizona had over 3,000 cases, and this is first day of summer. So obviously it's going to spread like wildfire during summer. And the fall is going to be flu season. It's going to be far worse in the fall. So you'd be stupid for Harvard University, University of Pennsylvania, Johns Hopkins, and Georgetown to open the campus when in the summer you have all these increase. And the fall is flu season. So my prediction is that Georgetown, Johns Hopkins, University of Pennsylvania, Columbia University, Harvard University will close in the fall semester. Obviously, they could open, but you're going to have a lot of people dying. And how do we know this? South Carolina put out a report yesterday and today. A lot of teenagers and young people and children are getting COVID-19 now in South Carolina. So it seems like the mutated New York virus from New York that's targeting children, infecting children, are beginning to spread. And in South Carolina, there is wider spread of that. And today in North Carolina, we had our first child die from COVID-19. And she's not going to be the last child to die of COVID-19 in North Carolina. So because we have COVID-19 transition into the New York virus, a strain that targets and kills children, it is highly likely that we're going to see more children die of COVID-19 in the summer, unlike March to May, because New York virus came into existence around May. So we're looking at a next chapter in COVID-19 where we will have to bury that children, that teenagers, so children of the parents, and that's coming in the summer. And in the fall, we're going to have a reality where 1 million people may die per month. So that's probably coming in the fall. And obviously, if Georgetown University opens up in the fall semester starting August, then you're going to be spreading COVID-19 everywhere because we have Florida, which has uncontrolled growth of COVID-19. In uh, in in Arizona, you have an uncontrolled growth of COVID-19 right now, and it's just rising and rising. Um, Texas, they're having a second peak or second wave, as they say, and they're having a renewed spike in COVID-19 cases. So it would be irresponsible from a safety perspective and healthcare perspective for Georgetown University, Johns Hopkins University, University of Pennsylvania, Columbia University, and Harvard University, and all the universities to open up in the fall. But obviously, as more and more Americans die, they're going to realize they can't open up because America is one country, so you have people from all different states come, and it's going to spread. How are you going to contain an outbreak at Georgetown University? It's a small campus with like over 16,000 students. You know, we have 9,000 undergraduates. Graduate students, smaller number of undergraduates, but you have thousands of professors, staff. You have an outbreak, it's going to spread all over to Maryland, Virginia, DC. So it's not just about outbreak at Georgetown, it's going to spread throughout DC, throughout Maryland, throughout Virginia. So the smart thing for Georgetown to do is just go completely remote online. And I was watching AACN, American Academy of Colleges, American Association of Colleges of Nursing, one of their webinars, and they said they may have to allow 100% of clinicals to be done online. So that's one thing they're considering because COVID-19 is a pandemic and it's going to spread for years and years. It's not going to just go away. And we know that Spanish flu of 1918 killed over 50 million Americans, not Americans, people in the world. And about, I think, 750,000 people died in America. So it's not that much compared to the total death toll, which is 50 million. But COVID-19 will probably kill more than 50 million. There's no vaccine, there's no cure. And unlike Spanish flu of 1918, the Wuhan virus or the Chinese virus, what we're calling COVID-19, because it originated in China. It's not, we're not trying to be anything but just point to the location where it started. You're going to have probably more than 50 million people around the world die. And because America is number one in COVID-19, in terms of cases and deaths, we're going to probably see majority of people in America die. Unfortunately, but that seems to be the case. Yeah. So currently we have a total death in America of 119,714, and total cases stand at 2,254,630. And we are looking at Latin America's top 5. And Latin America used to have not many cases. Many of these Latin American countries used to have less than 1,000 for weeks and weeks. But unfortunately, the latest development is very disturbing because as you can see, all the top 5 states have over 2,000 cases. And they had less than 1,000. And every state in the United States of America can become like a country in Latin America. So those can be figures for 5 states in America, obviously. So Florida can go to a situation where 3 weeks from now, they could have over 20,000 or 10,000 or over 20,000, 3-4 weeks from now. That is a possibility. Same with Texas, same with Arizona, same with California. And so it's a serious problem. And North Carolina can likely have over 10,000 deaths by end of summer easily. So if you look at the numbers, it's becoming a problem because at a certain point the beds are going to run out and the ventilators are going to run out. And right now, states are continuing to open. And so there's a higher likelihood that the cases will spread more quickly. And so, yeah, so that's a problem. So let's go to the top five in Latin America. Brazil has 1,032,913 cases, and the total deaths are at 49,976. And 5% of the people who are getting COVID in Brazil are dying. So the rate is a little bit lower than America. We're like at 6%. Yeah. Peru is number 2 at 251,338 cases, and the total deaths are at 7,861. So 3% of the people who are getting COVID are dying. And Chile is at 236,748 cases, and 4,295 people have died. And so 2% of the people who have confirmed cases are dying. But as confirmed cases go up, obviously death rate will go up. And that's why I'm saying Texas, Florida, Arizona, California, North Carolina, South Carolina will have serious number of deaths. And obviously, as death numbers increase in South Carolina and North Carolina, it's going to spread to Virginia from the south. And as there's more and more movement, you're going to have a sharp exponential spike of COVID-19 cases. And one thing about Washington, D.C. is we get people everywhere. So we have U.S. House of Representative members coming from our Arizona, Florida, Texas, and senators and their staff members who are from those states. So we're definitely 100% guaranteed to see a spike in D.C. That's not even a question. We will see a spike in Washington, D.C. It's just a matter of time that you're going to notice a sharp spike. And since a lot of people who work in Congress, staff members who live in Virginia and Maryland, we're going to see a sharp spike in Maryland and Virginia. So that could come as early as next week, that we are going to have numbers going up from, a few hundred cases to like a few thousand cases in a matter of days. So that could happen next week. Or it could happen a week from next week. But it will definitely happen. There's no question about it. Because Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States, and a lot of people fly in and fly out. There's a lot of movement. So we're definitely going to see a sharp spike upwards of COVID-19 cases in D.C., Southern Maryland, like Bethesda, and Northern Virginia, like Arlington. We're definitely 100% guaranteed to see a spike. So it's just a matter of time. It's either next week or next week you'll see a sharp spike. So you should expect a lot of people to die in Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County, Washington, D.C., Montgomery County, St. George County in Maryland. You should expect to see a lot of death in the next coming weeks, because we're going to have a lot of cases in the coming weeks from several sources. One, George Floyd protests. Two, movement from states like Florida, Arizona, Texas, they're flying in and out. So that's the second source. The third source will be from South Carolina, North Carolina. There's going to be northerly increase of COVID. So Virginia is kind of in a serious problem because you're having a two-front war with COVID-19 going down from DC, and then COVID-19 going up from North Carolina. So you should expect a lot of people to die in Virginia in the summer. It's just, you're going to notice it. It's just a matter of time until COVID-19 cases start spiking up again. Because remember, we look at Texas. Texas was one of the states with very sharp increase in COVID cases in the beginning, and then it seemed like it was dying down, and now it's sharply increasing again. So I would say Virginia is similar to that, to Texas situation and Maryland as well. Um, and even Florida, they had a case and they kind of seemed to like die down and then it had spike again. So um, Arizona was kind of relatively low until now, and then it's just spiking. So it's a little different case. Same with Alabama. But I would say looking at Florida and especially Texas, I think it's safe to say that Maryland and Virginia will see a second spike because we're still in the first wave. I mean, the first wave never went away, but we're going to see a sharp spike. So I'm predicting that we're going to hit 10,000 deaths per day in the summer in America. And I'm not going to backtrack that because I think we will have over 10,000 Americans dying from COVID-19 in the summer. Because look at all the numbers of cases that are raging upwards in several states. And once Virginia goes back up to like 2,000 cases per day or more, Maryland as well, Pennsylvania, you're going to have resulting deaths. The deaths are at 6% of the confirmed cases. And once ICU units run out and hospital beds run out, you're going to have a lot of people dying. So that's something that I think you will expect. And that's one of the reasons why I'm saying, legalize gay marriage and homosexuality, because Romans chapter 1 clearly says you need to oppose homosexuality. It's unnatural and it's evil. And as long as you're not illegalizing homosexuality and gay marriage, God's going to continue to punish America because God hates homosexuality and God hates homosexuals. That's very clear in Romans chapter 1 and in the book of Genesis. So I would encourage every Christian church to preach against homosexuality and gay marriage and call for illegalization of homosexuality in America, because this COVID-19, I'm predicting, will kill over 30 million Americans by year 2022. There is no vaccine. There is no cure. And you're seeing what's going on in Florida, Arizona, Texas, California, with over 3,000 cases per day. And 6% are dying on average. And it's going to continue. And the problem is COVID-19 is mutating. So now it's beginning to target children. So from March to May, children were relatively safe. That's no longer going to be the case. In the fall 2020, you can expect millions of children to get infected and they can die. And then you will die, for sure. So, and I've said this in my show a month ago. I said Arlington Public School, Alexandria Public School, Fairfax County Public School, Falls Church Public School must close in the fall semester because COVID-19 has mutated to New York virus, which targets and kills children. So in the fall, when there's flu season and cold season, many children are going to die because they're going to get COVID and they're going to get cold or flu. They're not going to survive. So over a month ago, I said you should expect to see thousands of children dying in Virginia's 8th District, Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County. And I think you should expect that. I hope that your child doesn't die, but it's guaranteed we're going to have thousands of children die, maybe tens of thousands of children die in fall 2020. So I encourage you to spend a lot of time with your children because your children will die maybe in September, October, November, December. There are currently thousands of children dying from sudden infant death syndrome. They're babies who are born and they just die. And no one knows why they're dying. Science doesn't know why they're dying. Nurses don't know. Doctors don't know. No one knows why all these babies are dying from sudden infant death syndrome. So you put the baby in the bed and the baby ends up dying. Some are saying that they're suffocating on a pillow, like for parents who put an extra pillow in there. I was in Walmart today and I saw these fluffy pillows for $4. I mean, Walmart's great. They have great stuff for cheap, you know. But you know, you put a pillow like that in a baby's crib, baby could suffocate and die. Some are saying that that may be the reason, but even in cribs without pillows or anything else in it, babies are still turning up dead. And we call that sudden infant death syndrome. So babies are dying even without COVID, but with COVID and flu, you should expect many children to die in Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County in the fall 2020. So whether you're Republican or Democrat or independent, I would encourage you to take down the rainbow flags from your city, from your town, from your churches, for those satanic worshiping churches that, you know, they're not worshiping Satan. They say they worship Jesus, but they have rainbow flag, which represents a satanic kingdom, because Romans chapter 1 clearly condemns homosexuality. So I would recommend that you take down every rainbow flag that you can see, that you can take down from your church, your neighborhood, your town hall, wherever. They shouldn't be flying in a town hall anyway. Your streets. Well, if you want your children to die, go ahead and celebrate pride marches. Go ahead and protect gay rights, LGBTQ rights, and see what happens. See if Heerak Christian Kim wasn't telling you the truth about God and his anger and wrath that burns against LGBTQ people and rainbow gay pride flags. Don't listen to me, because I'll tell you in October, I told you so. I told you on June 20th to tear down all the rainbow flags in Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County, because Heerak Christian Kim is predicting that tens of thousands of children in Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County will die from COVID-19. Because now there's a strain, New York virus, that can target and infect children and kill children. So you have something to look forward to in fall 2019, like death of your child from COVID. So Heerak Christian Kim, who created this show to save your children from COVID-19 and save you from COVID-19, is giving you spiritual advice based on the Holy Bible, which gives us a picture into how God functions in society, how God uses his holy angels in society. And I'm telling you from my vast knowledge of the Holy Bible, the Torah, to tell you, you need to bring down those rainbow flags, because rainbow flags makes God mad. Are you going to listen to me or not listen to me? I guarantee you, you're going to see tens of thousands of your children die in the fall from COVID-19 if you anger God. That's guaranteed. We have 628 people dying on the first day of summer in America. This is summer. There's no flu virus. Can you imagine what's going to happen when the flu virus starts in September? You think the death rate will still be 628? I tell you, I'm expecting 1 million Americans to die every month in the flu season 2020 that starts in September. 1 million Americans to die every month. And you're still going to fly your rainbow flag and gay flag and anger God? What are you, stupid? You think this is a joke? 628 deaths per day? Do you think it's a joke? I take it very seriously. I'm trying to save your life. I'm trying to save your children's life. You gotta listen. I'm an expert of the New Testament. I'm an expert of the Old Testament. I'm an expert of Jewish history, as you know. And I present academic papers in liberal academic conferences with liberal theologians because they respect my research. I myself believe God, Bible is God's word. It's inerrant and infallible. And I'm telling you from Romans chapter 1, God's going to send his wrath. He's already sent his wrath in America. We have already 120,000 people who have died from COVID. Every one of our schools have closed down. How many of you lost your job right now? 45 million Americans have lost their jobs. You're telling me God doesn't exist? God is not angry? I tell you, read Romans chapter 1. You have to understand why God is angry, because unless you appease God's anger, more people are going to die. How many times do I have to explain that? I tweeted to Senator Mark Rubio in Florida that Floridians must oppose gay marriage, homosexuality, and gay pride. I tweeted to U.S. Senator Scott in Florida and also DeSantis, the governor. And if they listen to me, things are going to go well for Florida. If they don't listen and they tolerate gay rights, LGBTQ rights, then things are going to go very badly for Florida. Because Romans chapter 1 is like a blueprint for how God functions when he brings down wrath. The Bible is a blueprint for survival from a spiritual angle. And as you know, I practice cura personalis, which is a Catholic Jesuit tradition for healthcare. And cura personalis refers to, it's a Latin phrase, and it refers to the whole person. So I'm trying to treat the whole person. How can I save you from COVID-19? We can do healthcare stuff. So I tell you to wear a mask when you go to a shopping mall, when you walk around outside, I tell you to wear a mask. That is a healthcare way to help prevent COVID-19 from infecting you. Nothing is 100% guaranteed. Even if you wear your mask, you could get it. But it protects you. Mentally and psychologically, I try to prepare you so you don't have a mental breakdown or you don't lose your mind, literally. So I give you realistic scenarios that can happen. And so far, I've been correct, right? I said there will be 365 days a year. COVID-19 is 365 days a year virus. I've been correct. I told you there's going to be many, many infections and many, many deaths during summer 2020 when other scientists were saying hardly anybody's going to die in the summer. And I have been right. We have today, first day of summer, having 628 deaths. And last several days, we had over 700, around 700. Last week, we had generally around 1,000. So we're averaging around 1,000 deaths per day. So I've been consistently right. Now, I'm telling you, from the Bible's perspective, spiritually, unless you illegalize gay marriage, unless you illegalize homosexuality, the wrath of God is only going to grow. Can you imagine things getting much worse? Yes, it can get worse. And I'm reading the Bible and I'm trying to save your family and save your children, save your future. But are you listening? Are you listening? Because God is alive. You may think God is dead. You may think Earth is flat, but that doesn't mean Earth is flat. Have you seen Earth with your own eyes, except from TV? They could talk to the TV. How do you know the Earth is round? Or you just trust that Earth is round, right? You haven't really seen it yourself. You've seen TV, but it could be like fabrication, right? In the same way, God exists. Whether you think he exists or not, that doesn't deny the reality that God exists. What is the proof that God exists? America has legalized gay marriage, and even last week, Supreme Court protected gay rights, and look what God does. God spikes up COVID-19 cases in key states, Florida, Arizona, Texas, that God expects to vocally stand against homosexuality, gay marriage. Because silence is guilt. Silence is violence. Right? You don't speak out against gay marriage. If you don't speak out against homosexuality, then that is guilt. Silence is guilt. Silence is violence. So you're going to see God deliver his justice, punishment for guilt. Silence is violence. Silence is guilt. If you don't publicly speak out against gay marriage, publicly speak out against homosexuality, then God's going to increase the punishment, increase the tragedy. Is that what you want? I'm telling you, tens of thousands of your children in Virginia's 8th district alone will die in the fall 2020 because God purposely transitioned COVID-19 from targeting elderly people primarily to now targeting children. And Heerak Christian Kim, that's who I am, have coined the term New York virus to describe this new strain of mutated COVID-19 virus. Your children are going to die from this mutated COVID-19. And in the winter, how are you going to prevent that? You need God's help. God's not going to help you if you do not help him by fighting homosexuality, gay marriage, and illegalizing homosexuality. The first step, show of good faith, is to tear down, destroy, make invisible in society every gay rainbow flag. You have to take steps to show your good faith to God. If you don't, you have time to alter history now. You tear down those gay flags from Alexandria city streets. You tear down those gay flags from your communities and church yards and in Falls Church. You tear down those gay rainbow flags from Arlington. Anywhere in Arlington that you see gay flag, you just tear it down. Fairfax County, you tear down those rainbow. You have a chance to alter history. If you comply with God's law, God may show mercy. Now, if you fly those rainbow flags, allow gay people to march in gay pride marches in your town, don't be surprised if your child gets COVID-19 and dies and you have to bury your child. Well, whether you believe in God or not, it's irrelevant. I'm telling you, that's what the Bible says. Bible shows punishment for gay marriage, gay homosexuality rights. Are you going to take a chance on your child's life by supporting gay rights? You're not homosexual. Why are you supporting gay rights anyway? When you know Bible is against gay rights. So you're going to have your child killed by God's holy angels through COVID-19 in the winter by supporting gay rights, which is immoral. That's completely banned in the Holy Bible. And you're not even gay. How stupid are you? You must be like the stupidest person in the world to not be a homosexual, but support homosexual rights that results in your children's death in the fall of 2020. How stupid do you have to be? I'm telling you this now because I want to save you and your children from COVID-19 death. You should listen when your child is alive. Because when COVID-19 strikes and your child gets infected with COVID-19, you cannot change the time. Once your child dies, you cannot resurrect your child from death. You're going to live the rest of your life, if you survive COVID-19, in pain and misery. Because all three of your children may die from COVID-19, not just one, not just two, but all three of your children may die from COVID-19. Do you think you'll survive that? What do you think? Whether you're a Christian or not is irrelevant. I'm telling you, God of the Bible has sent COVID-19 to punish America for gay marriage laws. And the only way you're going to turn away the wrath of God is by legally illegalizing gay marriage by law in US Congress, or by US Supreme Court, or by executive order of President Trump. Anyway, it has to be legalized for all 50 states. That's the only way COVID-19 is going to leave America. It's going to continue to kill hundreds, thousands in America every day. Because God is in control, and Romans chapter 1 shows God will send the wrath of God for homosexuality. Why do you doubt his existence? Why do you doubt that God will do exactly what he promised to do in Romans chapter 1? Why do you doubt that? If you're a Christian, Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, doesn't matter. If you're a Christian, why do you doubt God will do what he promised to do? If you're not a Christian, are you willing to gamble with your children's lives? Scientists do not know COVID-19. They don't know what it is. They were calling it like a flu virus for months and months. Now we see it's not a flu virus. Are you going to risk your children's lives on the words of Dr. Fauci, who's been wrong again and again and again? Center for Disease Control, which has been wrong again and again and again. National Institute of Health, which has been wrong and again and again. American Association of Colleges of Nursing, AACN, which has been wrong again and again and again on COVID-19. American Medical Association, which has been wrong again and again and again on COVID-19. What, you're going to put your faith in all these people who've been wrong for the past 6 months? Are you stupid? You know over 600 people are dying every day from COVID-19. So why do you put your faith on scientists who've been consistently wrong? Are you like stupid? I only put faith in Jesus Christ, but after that, I observe. I make rational deductions, and I make decisions based on my rational deductions. Scientists have been consistently wrong. They are not going to save your children. Now, let's say you do not believe in God. So what? You know COVID-19 is killing all these people. You don't understand why. None of the scientists know why. Heerak Christian Kim, Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century, is telling you this is God's wrath on America for gay marriage and homosexuality. Why do you think I'm wrong? Does the data suggest that Heerak Christian Kim is wrong? No, the data suggests Heerak Christian Kim is right. There is a phenomena the scientists cannot grasp, and I'm explaining to you what that phenomena is. And based on the consistency of this phenomena, in light of the Bible, that holds a key to understanding this phenomena from a spiritual angle, Heerak Christian Kim, the expert on New Testament and Old Testament, is telling you that you can rationally, reasonably predict that tens of thousands of children in Virginia's 8th district, Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County, will get COVID-19 during the flu season and die. Now use your mind and logic and rationality. Is Heerak Christian Kim making sense or not making sense? You know Heerak Christian Kim is making sense because 628 people are dying every day in the summer from COVID-19. 4,000 plus people are getting COVID-19 in Florida every day in the summer. No scientist can explain this. They don't understand what's going on. They don't even know what kind of virus this is. Obviously, it's not a flu virus. They've been all proven wrong. Do you want to risk your children's lives? Is that what you want to do? See, Heerak Christian Kim is trying to save your children's lives. Is it important that your children go to the next grade or live? What good is all their education if they die? That's why Heerak Christian Kim has called on Arlington County government, Alexandria city government, Falls Church city government, Fairfax county government to close down the public school in the fall to save your children's lives. But even if the schools are closed, your children can get infected. How do we know? Because everybody in Virginia has been in a stay-at-home order, but we still had a lot of people die. And it kind of started after the flu season in Virginia, right? Or at the tail end of flu season. So can you imagine if we experience the full flu season in the winter? You can stay home all you want. You still can get infected because you have to go outside at some point. And masks do not protect you 100%. Even N95 masks do not protect you 100%. A lot of people are going to die in the fall. That's 100% guaranteed. That's guaranteed by science. And that's guaranteed by past history of pandemics. A lot of people are going to die. Spanish flu of 1918 killed over 50 million people in 2 years. We're going to have at least 50 million people die in the next 2 years. At least. So I'm telling you, you need all the help that you can get. Even if you're an atheist, even if you're an agnostic, I'm telling you as an expert of the New Testament, that is the New Testament God that's killing Americans because of homosexuality. You're not an homosexual. Don't you want the optimum chance of survival from COVID-19? Don't you want to up your chances of survival? Don't you want to increase the chance of survival of your children? Even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe in New Testament, isn't a rational decision to try to increase your chance of survival or your children's chance of survival when a Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century Heerak Christian Kim is telling you what's going to happen, and he has consistently been right since March? Don't you think it's a rational human decision to consider his suggestion rationally? You're not even gay. Why do you support gay rights when Bible clearly condemns it? You could read Romans chapter 1 for yourself. It clearly condemns it. Why are you supporting it? It's against your interest to support gay rights. It's against your children's interest to support gay rights. So why are you doing it? Why are you being an irrational being? You become educated in a bachelor's program, master's program. You need to think critically for yourself. You need to think critically in terms of the interests for yourself and your family, instead of just following the herd, like bah, bah, bah. Don't be a lamb following the herd. Think critically to survive. You think you're going to survive COVID-19 following the herd, bah, bah, like a lamb? You need to think critically. You need to think rationally. You need to consider all scientific data. You need to consider all qualitative and quantitative data that is presented to you. Think rationally. That's the only way you're going to survive COVID-19. That's the only way your children are not going to survive COVID-19. You need to increase your maximal chance of survival. And that's why I'm saying close down all the schools. Because your children's education is not as important as their lives. I'm trying to save you and your children's life. But you need to work with me. You need to help me help you. Look at this. All these deaths are increasing. Chile, 4,295. Mexico is now over 20,000, 20,781. Colombia is 2,148. They're all increasing. But as long as President Trump is faithful to the Christian gospel and stands against LGBTQ rights, God will bless President Trump. But if he stands with LGBTQ, then God will cut him down. That's just who God is. God's law is supreme. I live in fear of God. I love God, but I know that God loves his law, and he expects all of us, including me, to respect his law. And that's why I'm sharing with you in public that you need to condemn homosexuality. You need to stand against LGBTQ rights. You need to tear down those LGBTQ flags. And you need to make homosexuality illegal in America. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better from epidemiology perspective, like study of plagues. It's not going to get better from biological perspective, study of biology, living organisms. It's not going to get better from economy perspective with 45,000 Americans unemployed and more are going to be unemployed next week. It's not going to get better unless you illegalize homosexuality by federal law, state law, local laws. The longer you wait, the longer it's going to get. Sooner you comply with God's law and illegalize homosexuality, better it will be. Make the rational decision and illegalize gay marriage and homosexuality. We're talking about less than 1% of America's population. And the Holy Bible clearly says homosexuality is immoral, crime, and unnatural. Right? You just read through Romans 1. Why don't you just comply with God's law so things can get better? Why do you have to insist on breaking God's law? It doesn't make any sense. So let's go to the question about what motivates people. As I shared with you yesterday, I wish that, the smartest students, the best students in clinical nurse leader program at Georgetown University Clinical Nurse Leader Program, cohort 2020, will be recognized and honored. I've shared that with you yesterday, right? I believe that it's either Ying-Fu McMillan, my best buddy from China, or Claire Paoletta from Falls Church, who went to Georgetown Prep. I think Georgetown Preparation School. It's the school, right? All girls Catholic school attached to Georgetown University. I think one of them are going to be number one, and the other one is number two. That's my guess. I mean, I may be wrong, but I shared with you that people are not really talking about grades because we were discouraged by some people from doing that, some professors from doing that. But the problem is, we need to recognize people who achieve, because society cannot get better if you don't honor and recognize people who achieve. I got 3.5 from Georgetown University Clinical Nurse Leader Program. That's respectable. It's an A- average. Obviously, I'm not number one or number two, but I feel that we need to honor people who are like number one, number two. I think we should know who people are who are number one, number two, and we should give them honor. Can you imagine how hard you had to work to be number one or number two? They should receive honor and recognition. And so for me, it's bordering on social justice issue, because when people work hard to achieve, they should be recognized, right? Because our society punishes criminals, And not recognizing those who achieve, those who attain good things, good grades, that's like saying it's not worth achieving. It sends the wrong message socially at Georgetown University, among the students, and I think it will impact their life if you don't recognize those who have achieved. And so, obviously, both Claire Paoletta and Yingfu McMillan, they're like my friends, and I want to see them honored for their achievement. If they're number one and number two. Um, but it's not just about friendship here. It's about what is the right thing to do. And I don't know if they're angry or not because they're not recognized. I don't think Ying Fu won any awards or Claire either. So if they're like ranked number one, at least being recognized as ranked number one academically is fair because they have achieved for 2 years a grade that is the highest and they should be recognized for that. I believe that there should be a graduation award for people who are ranked one and ranked two in terms of GPA. So I feel strongly about that, that they should be recognized in the like pinning ceremony because they've worked hard to achieve academically, and Georgetown University is an academic institution. So first and foremost, we must recognize those who achieve academically. And, I guess if it's Ying Fu, McMillan, or Claire Paoletta, they have the right reason to be mad. Like Mr. Paoletta, Mrs. Paoletta, or Mr. Fu, Mrs. Fu, Ying Fu, McMillan. Yeah. So, yeah, they have reason to be mad if their child achieved like the highest grade and were not recognized. I think they have the right to be mad. Um, because we need to recognize people who achieve high grades. I think it's unfair not to recognize them. I don't know. That's just how I feel. As I shared with you yesterday, I was ranked number two at Fairfax Christian Academy. I was salutatorian, and I was recognized. I also received a history award at Fairfax Christian Academy, and I also received a board of directors award at Fairfax, which is considered the greatest honor at Fairfax in graduation. And Ed Mosang and Joe Garver, they were co-valedictorians. They had the honor of going to the best of the class program to represent Fairmont Christian Academy. Like all the schools sent their like valedictorian there. And Joe Garver, who was valedictorian, and Heerak Christian, me, salutatorian, we went to University of Pennsylvania. So yeah, I just yeah, I guess I kind of I don't know. I guess Ying Fu McMillan and Claire Paoletta are not really bothered by this, but yeah, I guess I'm kind of bothered by it because I think they should be recognized if they're ranked number one and number two. Just I just feel strongly about that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I want to have to recognize people who should be recognized. And certainly President Trump should be recognized, and that's why I'm recognizing him. Oh, but before going to President Trump, I want to recognize all my fellow Clinical Nurse Leader Program core members. There's 25 of us, so there's 24 and me. I'm the only Asian male cohort member, and there's a white male, Grant Allen, and then African American male. And so, yeah. Yeah, so there's 3 of us who are male, and then 22 are women. So we're like a minority of minorities. So, yeah, but, Grant is great, and Billy's great. Billy's from Texas. Grant is from North Carolina. They're both great guys, I'm sure they'll be great nurses as well. But yeah, there's only 3 of us, yeah, then 22 women, like they're the majority. But yeah, I love everybody in my cohort, Clinical Nurse Leader 2020 cohort. So I want to say congratulations to you. You have achieved. Congratulations to you. We are going to be great. We are going to be great. Clinical nurse leaders. Clinical nurse leaders. Yeah. So, yeah, we're like, about a month away from just kind of leaving Georgetown because, August is our last month at Georgetown. And then we work in hospitals, with our clinical nurse leader qualification and master's degree in clinical nurse leader at Georgetown University. So we're very excited, all of us, all 25 of us. Yeah, so it should be exciting. So I want to recognize all of us because we have worked hard to achieve. We all deserve it. So congratulations to you, congratulations to me, congratulations to us, clinical nurse leaders 2020 at Georgetown University. Yeah, so Harry's excited. He's excited about 25 of us graduating from clinical nurse leader. He says congratulations to everyone. Yeah, so yeah, I want to recognize also President Trump, who has the Make America Great Again rally today, June 20th, at Oklahoma. And you see some photos there. There's a photo from the rally there in Oklahoma. But there are haters. Look at this. Some people just scheduled an event at the exact same time as President Trump rally. I mean, geez, how low is that? I mean, that's just bad form. And they're calling it peace prayer rally. Jeez, you know, it's so bad because they hate President Trump so much. They're filled with hatred for President Trump. Maybe they should pray for peace for themselves so that they don't hate President Trump in the future. Because they hate President Trump, these people, all those people in the photo, they all hate President Trump. So it's ironic that they're praying for peace when they're filled with hatred, Yeah, I don't know a single person in that photo, group of those people, whoever they are, who don't hate President Trump. They're like what I call a gallery of people who hate President Trump, people who are hateful and filled with hatred. And they're calling it a prayer peace rally. It's more like they're using that as a platform to hate President Trump. I mean, geez, at least be honest about it. It's prayer of hatred for President Trump rally. Jeez. I mean, they're such hypocrites, these people in that photo. June 2020 peace prayer rally for the city of Tulsa. All those people are such hypocrites. They hate President Trump. And I won't be surprised if every single one of them support defund police and all the violence that has happened during, looting. And I want them to condemn defund police. Somebody ask every one of those people in the photo to condemn defund police as a violent domestic terrorist organization. Let's see. Let's see if they say it or not. Yeah, and that's why I support President Trump. Because, he condemns defund police as being violent, and he tried to protect U.S. citizens, during the violence, the looting, burning down of police cars, and you see a policeman there, and people trying to destroy Southern culture, and you see Gone with the Wind there. And all those people in the picture for a peace prayer rally for the city of Tulsa, all those so-called religious leaders wanted to see Kim Davis locked up in prison for opposing gay marriage and homosexuality. Shame on them. They're more like representatives of Satan. They want to advance Satan's kingdom on earth by advancing gay rights, LGBTQ rights, and putting Christians like Kim Davis who oppose gay marriage in prison. Right? The prison photo of Kim Davis is there, LGBTQ nation. And every one of those hateful people, hypocrites who hate Jesus, we know they hate Jesus because they love Satan. We know they love Satan because they support LGBTQ rights. You can't support LGBTQ rights and be lover of Jesus, but because Jesus is God and God killed everybody in Sodom and Gomorrah because of homosexuality in Genesis, so Jesus hates homosexuals. And so anybody who supports gay, lesbian, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer rights, they are haters of Jesus Christ by definition. Because Jesus Christ hates LGBTQ people. I mean, look at Sodom and Gomorrah. Jesus killed everybody. He didn't send a missionary. Jesus, who is God, obviously. And so these hypocrites in that peace prayer rally for the city of Tulsa, they would love to see Christians like Kim Davis locked up for opposing homosexuality. And these hypocrites, these agents of Satan, as I call them, agents of evil, are holding a rally to try to destroy President Trump's rally. And look how, I mean, that's just, just cheese, just cheesy. Cheesy. What's your favorite cheese? Your cheddar cheese is good, but there's this European cheese. Oh my gosh. Some cheese, when made perfectly, like just melts in your mouth. Some cheeses are just great. I think the best cheese I had was like in France. One great thing about France is they know how to make bread. Like in America, I've never tasted bread like I've tasted in like France. Pastries, it doesn't even compare. But anyway, going back to the topic, yeah, there are a lot of evil people in the world. There are wolves dressed in sheep's clothing, and that's what all these people in the photo are. People in the photo of Peace Prayer Rally for the city of Tulsa. All those people are like wolves in sheep's clothing. They all support LGBTQ rights. They all support like more proliferation of homosexuality in America. Yeah, it's like they all need Jesus. You know, they all need Jesus to be saved. I don't consider a single person in that photo as a true Christian because anyone who supports LGBTQ rights cannot be a true Christian. I don't consider a single person in that photo in prayer rally, peace prayer rally for the city of Tulsa as a true Christian. All of them are going to go to eternal damnation in hell based on the standard that Jesus has said that condemns LGBTQ rights, gay rights. So no one who supports LGBTQ rights can go to heaven because Romans chapter 1 is clear on that. And I believe that every single one of them supports LGBTQ rights, if I'm not mistaken. So that means every one of those religious leaders are wolves in sheep's clothing, and they're actually servants of Satan. They're going to all burn in eternal damnation in hell. And that's why, I support President Trump's rally, because he loves Jesus. He marched for life, marched against baby killing. I bet all those religious leaders, those hypocrite religious leaders who are headed to hell, I bet all of them want to kill babies. They support killing of babies and abortion. How can you call yourself man of God? I don't consider a single person in that photo a man of God or woman of God, because all of them support killing babies, from what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they support gay marriage. They cannot possibly be truly born again. So yeah, I don't respect a single person in that photo, in the peace prayer rally for the city of God, city of Tulsa photo. Yeah. So that's why I support President Trump, and I don't support all those people, hypocrite, servants of Satan, servants of evil. But anyhow, at the end of the day, We are judged by Jesus Christ. I'm judged by Jesus Christ. Everybody in that photo is in the peace prayer rally for the city of Tulsa photo is judged by Jesus Christ. Everyone is judged by Jesus Christ. And that's why we need to follow the New Testament, Romans chapter 1, that condemns LGBTQ+. We need to follow that because that is the very word of God. So as we go into the Lord's Day tomorrow, I encourage every pastor throughout all 50 states to preach against homosexuality and gay marriage and condemn U.S. Supreme Court Justice's decision to stand against the word of God in Romans chapter 1. Let's stand with Jesus tomorrow. Stand with Jesus. Stand with Romans chapter 1. I hope you enjoyed this show. As you know, I created this show to save you and your children from COVID-19. So I talked extensively about that today. I hope that you will consider what I've said with a critical mind, a rational mind, logical mind, and with a concern for your children. Your children matter. Your children's lives matter. Your children's lives matter. And this is a daily show, so you could check back tomorrow for more information that will help you save your children's lives and your life. I want you to survive COVID-19, so I'm going to give you complete information in the Georgetown Jesuit tradition, and Jesuits are Catholic priests. They're a group of Catholic priests who have organized, and they're called Jesuits, which emphasize cura personalities or treating the whole person. So I'm trying to treat the whole person by providing you with spiritual truth from the Word of God, the Holy Bible, because man shall not live by bread alone, but from every word that proceeded from the mouth of God. And what we have is in the Bible, words of God. So yes, so I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope that your family will be well, your children will be well, your children's life matter, and that your family, friends will be well as well. Let them know about this show so they don't miss out. And I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So I'll bid you adieu for now. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.